Why post the photo? If you don't want the likes, the comments, the thirst, the simps, the haters, all of the above, don't post the photo. You post that, you're looking for all of the comments.
Happens when a WNBA player prioritizes Instagram likes over perfecting her game. Just ask Angel Reese. Recent actions have even caused her fans to question her priorities, leading to a response she likely didn't anticipate. While Reese is busy grabbing attention online for all the wrong reasons, Caitlin Clark is breaking records and grinding away in the gym. Here's a thought. What if Reese dedicated as much effort to improving her basketball skills as she does to posting selfies instead? She seems more focused on glamorous red carpet moments, complaining about her salary, and even deleting her social media in embarrassment. Yes, you read that right. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is out there showing what it means to be a true athlete, training rigorously in the gym and still finding time to give back to the community. Two players, two very different approaches. And trust me, Sue Bird has something to say about it. Let's dig into this one. WNBA rookie is hitting delete on her social media.
It's really fun, rewarding, and also interesting to watch these younger athletes step into their professional careers. Obviously, Caitlin and Angel are two great examples.
While another is eliminating the competition on the court. Let's break it down. First, we have Angel Reese, the self-proclaimed Bayou Barbie, who seems more interested in living up to her flashy persona than in—
Right, like so much earlier, these athletes are thinking about themselves as businesses, as brands. And it's amazing because they're carrying that with them to the WNBA, and so everything's just bigger.
Enhancing her basketball skills. Her most recent move? Wearing a mocha-colored animal print gown with a thigh-high slit that might block more shots than she can on the court. But here's the catch: her fashion stunt didn't sit well with her followers. Reese's Instagram vanished almost as quickly as her shot at becoming the WNBA's next big star. Many fans felt her New Year's Eve outfit was too provocative.
How can you wear that and also complain and post it and also complain that you don't like being sexualized? What is the take here?
You know, it's funny. I just did another show right before this one, and we talked about how this younger generation just wants to cry and be victims about everything, right?
For a professional athlete. Don't worry, Reese is still making waves on TikTok and Twitter, focusing on her priorities, apparently. The kicker here is that while Reese spends time lip-syncing to songs about her own fabulousness, critics argue that her social media presence is more about branding and fashion than basketball. It's almost as though she's trying to be a Kardashian with a jump shot, except she seems—
I understand. You want to wear it, you feel great about it, you got a great body, you play in the WNBA, but you cannot cry. You cannot say anything. I mean, have you seen some of her TikTok posts? Like, she's literally held up an outline after getting waxed. You can literally see all of her business there outlined in blue wax. And I'm like, oh yes, please tell me how sexualized you are. I mean, what are you gonna do?
Seems to be skipping the part about improving her game now. Let's talk about Caitlin Clark, the player who's actually living up to the hype. Sure, Clark also has her off-court activities, charity work, and the occasional round of golf, but where does she truly dedicate her time? On the basketball court. It might sound surprising, but if I told you that Clark's off-season training could leave even seasoned pros gasping for—
I feel like I'm just scratching the surface. I feel like there's just so many areas that I want to improve in and to continue to get in the gym and work on that every single day.
Fair. Would you believe it? Reese is perfecting her social media persona. Clark is perfecting her basketball skills. We're talking intense workouts, skill drills, and wait for it, actual basketball. It's not just about enhancing her already impressive shooting. Clark is working on becoming a more well-rounded player, developing her mid-range game, strengthening her body, and even improving her left hand. It's as if Clark is constructing a basketball empire, while Reese seems more focused on building a house of cards with her Instagram posts. But maybe Reese just needs some guidance from a WNBA legend. Oh, wait, she's already receiving it.
You got a new coach who's going to give you new looks, new game plans. You've got another year with Aaliyah Boston, likely Kelsey Mitchell, Lexi Hull. And then you've got the moves that the Fever can make in the offseason, whether it be free agency or the draft, to bolster the roster.
Sue Bird recently dropped a truth bomb that could change the course of Reese's career. Question now is whether Reese will take the advice or continue down the same path. When Sue Bird speaks, the entire basketball world listens, and this time, her words might be exactly what Angel Reese needs to hear or not. The reality is that the path to success is clearer for athletes who put in the work, and right now.
But now they're in that world. And so my only advice is usually just to make sure they keep basketball the main thing, because at the end of the day, that is your vehicle.
Caitlin Clark is leading the charge. Bird didn't mention any names, but it's hard not to imagine she was directly speaking to Reese when she made a comparison between a player's personal brand and their on-court performance. She even referenced LeBron James in her remarks, pointing out how the king never misses a workout despite his massive off-court commitments. It was as if Bird was holding up a mirror to Reese, challenging her to examine the difference between building a brand and building basketball skills. The message wasn't just about skipping gym.
It's your vehicle to, Angel Reese has a podcast. It's her vehicle to be a podcaster, right? Whatever Caitlyn ends up doing, it's the vehicle to get you to that point. So you always want to make sure that part doesn't fall off.
Sessions, it was a call to focus on the long term, to keep the bigger picture in mind throughout an athlete's career. Essentially, Bird's advice was simple: stay focused on the game, not the camera. While Bird is dropping wisdom, where's Reese? You guessed it, she's busy with red carpet appearances, podcast interviews, and complaining about her salary. It almost seems as though Reese is auditioning for the Real Housewives of the WNBA instead of putting in the work necessary to become an elite player. It isn't just tossing out random advice, there's a reason she's a WNBA legend, and it has nothing to do with her Instagram followers. Bird has seen firsthand the consequences of losing.
It's a balance. You have to find that balance. But when you look at some of the other athletes, particularly men, who've set a little bit of a blueprint in terms of the business and the sport, you never see LeBron miss a workout.
Focus on the game, shortened careers, diminished skills, and fading into the realm of whatever happened to them when players choose to prioritize media visibility over improving their game. Their skills, like their layups, start to look more suited for TikTok than the WNBA. And with every blooper that Reese racks up online, Bird's warnings ring truer. Surely, Reese is still focused on basketball, right? Well, when was the last time you saw her post a training montage that wasn't heavily edited for social media? There's nothing wrong with building your personal brand, but when that brand becomes a distraction from your game, it's time to reassess. While Reese seems to be caught up in her social media presence,
a lot of the videos we see with Caitlin Clark, she's got actual men, grown men out there in her face trying to keep her from making shots and this and that and the other. There's not a lot of hands in Angel Reese's face here, and I am confused by the fact that she's trying to become this long-range player, it looks like. This is... she plays under the basket, or we thought she was playing under the basket.
Caitlin Clark is all about refining her craft, but more on that in a moment. When the big names start speaking up, it's wise to listen. And right now, the critics are coming after Angel Reese from all angles. It's not just Sue Bird sounding the alarm, there's a growing chorus of voices questioning Reese's approach. Take Dave Portnoy, for example, the Barstool Sports mogul, who's never shy about sharing his opinions. Portnoy didn't hold back when discussing Reese's behavior, calling it classless. What exactly has him so upset? Portnoy's issue isn't just Reese's constant media presence, it's that he doesn't see her doing much on the court. He's tired of seeing her face everywhere except in the gym. The red carpet appearances, the never-ending social media posts, and the look at me moments? Portnoy's message is clear. Fans want to see players on the court, not influencers chasing likes. His advice to Reese is blunt.
She's a rookie in the league whose team sucked, who asked out at the end of the season with an injury, who won't shut up about herself, who ran their best player out of town. The coach got fired, and she started a podcast 5 seconds into the thing, creating all this controversy, showing up there.
Focus on improving your jump shot, not your photo shoots. And just when it seems like Reese might catch a break, in walks Shaquille O'Neal, a critic no athlete can ignore. Shaq isn't just a basketball legend and Reese's mentor, he knows exactly how to juggle on-court dominance with off-court.
Riled up.
Your first-round draft pick had the season she had, the controversy she had, got injured in a questionable injury, asked out, and then started a podcast gossiping about everything in the league as a rookie? Please.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, Caitlin's head down, just in the gym.
Ready to go.
You don't hear a peep from her. She cares about on the... So, you got me wound up.
Fame. When Shaq speaks, people listen. His recent comments about Reese were tough, comparing her to a player like Jameson, a talent who never reached his superstar potential. Essentially, Shaq is saying Reese is all flash with no substance, a role player pretending to be a superstar. That's the kind of reputation no one wants in the WNBA, with all the pressure mounting on her. you'd think Reese would be hitting the gym, right? But so far, it looks like the distractions keep piling up, working hard to prove the critics wrong not so fast. The only thing Angel Reese seems to be truly focused on is her social media presence. Those polished, heavily edited videos of her sinking three-pointers? Not fooling anyone. Here's the issue, nobody's saying Reese can't have a life outside of basketball, but when your off-court distractions begin to overshadow your on-court.
You know who you are? You're the female Antoine Jameson. You know who Antoine Jameson is? He got 20,000 points with his shot. Whatever your shot is, like everybody's shot ain't gonna be Steph Curry, your shot is your shot.
Court performance, you're in trouble. And right now, Reese has a glaring problem that can't be ignored. Now, let's talk about real dedication, because Caitlin Clark is about to show us exactly what that looks like. Some players are out there chasing clout and red carpet moments. Clark is relentlessly pursuing greatness. And trust me, her off-season routine is no joke. You might be asking, is she really working that hard? The answer is yes, and it's even more intense than you might imagine. We're talking strength training that would make even professional athletes sweat, shooting drills that could wear out a machine, and scrimmages that feel more.
When she was literally the most inefficient player within 5 foot in all of the WNBA. Any which way you put it, she shot bad from the field. All right, she's 6'3" and she plays under the basket, and she shot 39.1% from the field.
More like championship games than practice. But here's the key, Clark isn't just putting in the hours, she's meticulously honing her skills. She's laser focused on the specific aspects of her game that will take her from great to downright unstoppable. First up on her agenda? Ball handling in tight spaces. Caitlin Clark is already known for her ball handling wizardry, but last season, she led the league in turnovers.
I just come out here and try to, play basketball in a way that people love watching, in a way that is going to make my team successful, and the records and whatever, or the stats, that's just what comes with it.
Due to her innovative passes that even her teammates weren't always expecting. After the Olympic break, things improved, but the double and triple teams she faces on a nightly basis are a constant challenge. By sharpening her control under pressure, Clark is addressing this weakness head-on. Next, she's focusing on her mid-range game. Everyone knows about Clark's deep three-point shooting and her ability to finish at the rim. Last season, she shot an insane 62% within 5 feet of the basket. But her mid-range shot has been a bit of a vulnerability, and
So if you guys saw this workout has gotten a lot of people excited for Caitlin Clark, because she is directly working on her weaknesses, which I think is a good look. Honestly, I think that's a really, really good look for her, because again, when we're seeing somebody working on their weaknesses and not the glamorous weaknesses.
Opponents have exploited it, forcing her into those difficult shots. Now, she's countering. With a reliable floater and a pull-up jumper added to her repertoire, Clark has made herself even more dangerous and nearly impossible to defend. Finally, Clark is working on finishing through contact. She's never been afraid to drive to the basket, but the physicality of the WNBA is a different challenge altogether. It's not just about skill, it's about bracing for the bumps, shoves, and hits that come with playing in the paint. By simulating game-day physicality in her workouts and building her strength, Clark is preparing to take the punishment and still finish strong. Here's the scary part. This isn't just a typical off-season workout routine. Clark isn't simply maintaining her skills, she's leveling them up. She's targeting her weaknesses with pinpoint precision, and the implications for her opponents are downright terrifying. Picture this, a Caitlin Clark who thrives against double teams, has a reliable mid-range game to complement her deep three-point shooting, and can absorb contact while finishing at the rim. Add to that her limitless shooting range and her quarterback-level passing ability, and you're looking at an unstoppable force. It's like giving Superman immunity to kryptonite on top of his flight, heat vision, super speed, and unmatched strength. Next season, defenders better be prepared for the nightmare that Caitlin Clark is about to unleash. So, you might be wondering, surely all this training must come at a cost, right? There's no way Caitlin Clark has time for anything else. Dead wrong. Clark isn't just working on her game, she's building her brand the right way. By the right way, I mean she hasn't forgotten what got her to where she is, her love for basketball and her fans. While she's putting in those long hours in the gym, Clark is also making time for charity work, and
she's back in her natural habitat, back in the lab, playing basketball, and it's got to be a scary sight for the rest of the WNBA if she gets even better, because it's not as if she wasn't absolutely phenomenally elite as a rookie and arguably the best player in the league after the Olympic break.
And actively engaging with her followers. She's not posting thirst traps or starting Twitter feuds, she's out there making a real difference. And the best part? She's doing it all without sacrificing her training. It's almost as if she's figured out how to add extra hours to the day, but wait, there's more. Clark's not a
So you're starting from a very high place, but as Michael Jordan once famously said, right, the ceiling is the roof. And there really is no ceiling on Caitlin Clark's game because of her vision. I think that the thing that stands out the most to me is her court vision. And when you're able to shoot from deep the way she's able to shoot from deep.
Afraid to show her fans the reality behind her success. Her social media isn't just a highlight reel of glamorous photos, it's a behind-the-scenes look at her grind. She's letting the world see what it truly takes to be great, and fans are loving it. It's not just about the flash, it's about the substance. So, what does all this mean for the future of the WNBA? Well, Clark is setting a new standard. She's proving that it's possible to build your brand and still prioritize basketball. It's not about choosing between being a great player and being a marketable star, it's about being both, with the game always coming first. Let's be real for a second, while Angel Reese is busy chasing the spot.
There is really nothing you can do as a defense but hope the ball doesn't go in the basket. That's the level of greatness that Caitlin Clark can get to, where the defense's only hope is that she misses.
Spotlight. Caitlin Clark is building an empire. Reese's offseason has been filled with red carpet appearances and media events, but at what cost? Meanwhile, Clark is quietly putting in the work, becoming the player we all know she can be. Longevity in the WNBA isn't about how many Instagram followers you have.
The amount of people that have showed up in the stadiums, from the viewership numbers to people really wanting to wear a WNBA player's jersey or buy their merch or whatever it is, or have their shoe. Just how it's evolved in such a short period of time, I think shows everyone, there is real opportunity here.
It's about showing up day after day and proving your worth on the court. Clark has her eyes on the prize, while Reese, well, let's just say her priorities might need a little adjustment. Guess what? The 2025 season is going to be a real eye-opener. We'll see who has staying power and who's just a flash in the pan.
The more people can get out and watch the W or watch the college game or whatever it is, the better it's going to be for the future of the game.
One thing's for sure, I can't wait to see how it all plays out. And with 5 games between the Fever and the Sky next season, what are your predictions? Let us know in the comments, like and subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out.